You know, we all walk through the door after a long day, right? And who's right there, tail wagging like crazy as if they've been waiting for that exact moment? It's your dog, of course. But what if I told you, what if they knew you were coming home? I mean, long before your keys even touched the lock? Sounds a little psychic, doesn't it? Yeah, but the science behind this, oh man, it is absolutely fascinating. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share, it's gonna completely change how you see your dog's incredible mind. You know, we all have these stories. Okay, so let's start with their most powerful tool, and that's their nose. You see, we humans, we live in a world of sight mostly, but dogs, oh, they live in a world of scent. And get this, they can smell time. Think of it like this, when you leave the house in the morning, you're leaving behind this unique scent signature. It's all over the air, the furniture, everything. To your dog, that scent is strong, it's fresh, but as the hours go by, that scent, it starts to fade. You know, hot air rises, it circulates, and the concentration of your smell just gets weaker and weaker. And your dog's nose, which has over 200 million scent receptors, 200 million! Compared to ours, what, pathetic 5 million? It can detect these microscopic changes with just remarkable precision. They learn it through repetition. They figure out that when your scent fades to a very specific, very faint level, boom, you're about to walk through that door. It's like a scent hourglass. You're not just leaving the house, you're starting a countdown timer that only your dog can smell. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? They aren't watching the clock, they are smelling it. But wait, it gets even more surprising. Because what about when your schedule is completely unpredictable? I mean, a fading scent can't be the whole story, right? So here's where it gets even more interesting. Dogs are masters of routine. They have this finely tuned internal clock, a circadian rhythm, just like we do. But they don't just rely on, feeling hungry or sleepy. No. They use external cues to mark the time with incredible accuracy. They know the mail carrier arrives around 2 p.m. They hear that distinct sound of the school bus dropping the kids off at 3:30. They even notice how the sunlight hits a certain spot on the floor in the afternoon. They're piecing together this entire sensory timeline. And your arrival, it's just the final event in a long chain of daily predictions. It's like they have this mental checklist. Mail carrier, check. School bus, check. Sunbeam on the rug, check. Okay, my human should be home in about 15 minutes. It's that combination of their internal clock and all these external cues that makes them so remarkably precise. And have you ever noticed if you're maybe an hour late, your dog seems genuinely confused, maybe a little anxious? Well, it's because you've just thrown their perfectly calculated schedule into complete chaos. It's a testament to just how much they're paying attention. But that's not even the crazy part. So, scientists wanted to push this to the absolute limit. They designed these experiments to remove every single one of these explanations. What if there was no routine? What if you came home in a silent taxi they couldn't hear? What if no one was home to give them any cues? And this brings us to the story of a very special dog named Jaytee. Okay, so back in the 90s, a biologist, Rupert Sheldrake, he studied Jaytee. The owner, Pam Smart, swore he knew the exact moment she decided to head home. So they set up an experiment. They put a time-coded video camera on Jaytee for the entire time Pam was out. Pam would go miles away, no set return time. Instead, the researcher would page her at a totally random moment and say, "Okay, start your journey home." She'd travel in different cars, taxis even, so Jaytee couldn't hear a familiar engine. The results were absolutely mind-blowing. Odd, the data showed that for most of the time Pam was away, Jaytee was just chillin', doing normal dog things. He spent only about 4% of his time near the window. But, and get this, in the first 10 minutes after Pam got the page and started her journey, Jaytee was at the window waiting for an average of 55% of the time. Let that sink in. From miles away, with no routine, no sounds, no cues, he knew. Out of 100 logged trips in that study, Jaytee correctly anticipated her return an incredible 85 times. The researchers ruled out routine, they ruled out sound, they ruled out cues from people at home. So what's left? The lead researcher, controversially, suggested it could be a form of telepathy, a bond so strong it just transcends our known senses. Now, that's a huge leap, I know, and most scientists are looking for other explanations. But the data from those Jaytee experiments? It remains one of the most compelling, most puzzling pieces of evidence we have. It proves there's a depth to our connection with these animals that we're really just beginning to understand. So, is your dog a psychic? Probably not in the way we think of it. But they are absolutely a sensory detective of the highest order. They use a scent clock and a mastery of routine to predict our every move. And sometimes, like with Jaytee, they do things that science still can't fully explain. It just reveals this profound connection that goes way beyond simple training. It's a beautiful reminder that their world is so much richer than we can even imagine. So I'd love to know, what's the one unexplainable thing your dog does? When did they start waiting for you? Have you ever caught them seeming to know something they just shouldn't? Share your story in the comments. And if this made you look at your furry friend a little differently, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more.
Thanks for hanging out with me today. Talk to you next time.